तं येन गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णा चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमयों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for our weekly satsang program. We are following Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 3rd, Karma Yoga, text number 18 we will be doing. Navaitasya kirtharthano na kirtharthano kaschin na sasya sarva bhuteshu kaschidarthya vrapashrayah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason nor to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. I'll repeat it again. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport. Purport Prabhupada says, a self-realized man is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duty, save and expect activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not inactivity either, as will be explained in the following verses. A Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient in the discharge of his obligation. Hare Krishna. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. So today we will be doing two slokas because it is a continuation of even the 19 also we will be doing. So first we will be discussing about something about this 18th one. So there is another shloka like this, where Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasanyatma Na Sochiti Na Kamshiti. In this material world, every single person is hankering for something. Why they hanker? Because they feel that unless and until I enjoy this material world, it will be difficult for me to ensure my position, power, and energy. So that's why Krishna also says about this sort of thoughts that Pakiti kriyamanani guni karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudatma kartahiti manyate. That means in this material world, because of the mode of material nature, one person thinks that he is a doer. And the person who feels he is a doer, he wants to always try their level best to do something. And he feels that he is a doer and he will take care of everything. He will achieve everything. And because of this mood, because of this thought, what happens actually, he always runs. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpaniyamagraha janasangascha lolancha sarvir bhakti vineshati. It is a very big science that Rupa Goswami says in, Nectar of Instruction. It is very scientific. The person who is not spiritual, they will always they always try their level best to acquire something to secure his position. The problem of this material world is very simple, that is insecurity. Insecurity means everybody feels that I need certain things to secure myself. However, we cannot secure our life because we don't know when the life here will go away. But everybody wants security. That's why they have this life insurance policies and so many other things goes on, because everybody wants security. Ultimate security is actually Krishna's lotus feet. But nobody understands that because we don't have so much faith in Krishna. However, those who have faith, their thought process is different, which we'll be discussing later. Those who does not have faith, actually, they always try their level best to acquire certain things, certain positions, power, that they feel that it will protect their name, fame, and that will ultimately give them security. Security in this material world. Just like, yes, people put, security money in the bank. Then many of the those who act, they have their security insurance of the teeth or nose. If anything happens to the nose, anything happens to the teeth, they will get security, they will get the money, and they will be doing something. Even the car, building, everywhere we make something new, we want to secure it, isn't it? We have watchman, we have so many other things, this goes on. The list is long. So when there is no security, everybody does one thing. Whenever they want to enjoy, they want to acquire more. And this accumulation of more food or money creates another thing or pushes you for another thing. Prayas. Prayas means you have to endeavor. Then you run, you run, you run. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells a story of a man. Once the king of a province allowed that from morning sunrise to sunset, whoever will run and cover up as a circle of the land, that much land will be given to them. So this man was running so much, so much, and so much, that when he ended in the dawn, in the time when the sun was setting, his life here also set up. He died. So the land that he got, actually, it was in vain because he was so much giving energy, and he lost his life because it was too much for him to do that. So basically, the point that Krishna is trying to make it here is that in this verse of 18, he is speaking about some person who is not at all bothered about anything else. When we start following the instruction of Krishna, or we love Krishna and we understand that whatever he is saying, if you are putting faith in him, then everything will be taken care by him, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what he says that Kaunteya pratijannahi name bhakta pranashati. Oh my friend, Kunti's son Arjun, you take a vow. I tell you, I assure you that I will take care of you. Sarva dharmam prityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayispani masucha. So in this way, every single person, Krishna, whoever is following Krishna, if they are following with love, they will be always be free from any sort of anxiety. The example can be given by Prahlad Maharaj. If we read the chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially, Prahlad Charit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to love this character so much. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, we see that there are two personalities who were always, Mahaprabhu was, eager to hear about them. And one of is Dhruva Charit and another one is Prahlad Charit. So Prahlad Maharaj, from the very beginning of his life, we see that he used to always sing the glories of Krishna or Vishnu. He used to, inspire his student friends who were there in the Asura community, Daitya community. Whenever there will be tiffin time, he will always start chanting, dancing, and glorifying Lord Vishnu. And he has gone through so much pain his father gave. So much pain his father gave. Hiranyakashipu. He was put in fire, he was put in hot boiling water, he was put in so many other things. But then he has firm faith in the Lord's protection. And then one time when Hiranyakashipu said, "Where is your Lord?" Then he said, "My Lord is everywhere." I said, okay, if your Lord is everywhere, then what, he is there in this pillar? So he immediately said, yes, he is there in the pillar as well. So immediately he said that, okay, let me see. And then he banged. And there comes Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari. So the acharyas are saying that this much of faith Prahlad Maharaj had, and whether he got pain, and after Nishingadev delivered Hiranyakashipu and offered Prahlad Maharaj the seat, he was reluctant, the seat of a king. He was only 5-year-old boy. So the Lord said, you asked something from me. Then one thing he asked only, that my dear Lord, my father is an envious person. He was an envious person. Why didn't you deliver him? No, you ask something for yourself. I should not forget any time your lotus feet. So that is the power of purity of the devotees of the Lord, who has unflinching faith on the Lord's lotus feet. And whatever happens, they will never leave the center of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. There is a very beautiful bhajan, of, Govinda Das. That is saying that, Bhaja Puri Mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindare. Durlabha Manava Janama Satya Sangya Tarahu E Bhava Sindhure. So, unless and until we are loving Krishna with faith and attachment, and more we chant, more we hear about him, more we love him, slowly, we will also abide these qualities. I can ask you one question. You see, you are all practicing, or we are all in touch with Krishna consciousness for so many years now. So the day that you started and today, is there any positive change or not? You tell me. There are certain things you used to feel that we are enjoying, but actually they are not enjoyment or any sort of anything. So what is needed is that we just have to stick to it. We have to stick to it. And whatever happens, we need to love Krishna. Because we need to understand that he is always there. In this regard, there is a very beautiful pastime of Lord Jagannath. There was one devotee, his name was Gita Panda, Arjun, his name was Arjun actually. And he was a very nice Brahman with kids and family. However, because of his nature, he was very self-satisfied, and that self-satisfaction made his family a little bit, a difficult time. The family never had food one time, and clothes were getting torn. So the Brahmani was, and he was only reading Bhagavad Gita only. So one day what happened actually, his wife said, my dear Prabhu, there is no food, the kids are crying, what to do? So why don't you do something? And he was so sad. And at that time he was, reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And he was in that shloka where Krishna is saying, Yoga Kshemam Vahamem. I don't protect only to my devotees. I give them whatever they need and I protect whatever they have. And immediately what happened actually? He went to the temple of Lord Jagannath and he actually scratched with his pen, 3 markings. We should not do that. We are not in that position. In a pure state of mind, pure love of Krishna. He did that. And he went to the temple. Here what happens? Very beautiful 2 boys comes. And these boys are carrying a bullock cart, but bullocks are not there. They were driving himself. And the Brahmani was offered lot of foodstuffs, clothes, jewelries, and so much money. And he was, they were so happy to see that the kids were so happy. And the Brahmani said, okay, you got so much from where? Because there is a king here. Our Puri king has given your family these gifts because he is very happy with you all. And they said that, okay, why don't you stay back and eat something and then go? I'm cooking for you all. They said that, no, many houses we have to go. We'll say, Arey, but where are your bulls? Why you personally are doing? We'll say, no, our condition is like this because your husband has made us do that. Then, very smilingly, very sweetly, they left this place. And here Gita Panda, Arjun, Arjun Panda goes there and he sees that, Jagannath's mouth, there are, torrents of, signs of blood is there, three spots. And as if somebody has scratched his mouth. And he comes back, he was bewildered, he was asking forgiveness, why I saw that. And when he came back, his wife and children were so happy and jubilant to see him. They, Papa. And he's like, oh, Prabhuji, you came back, it's so nice. And he was astonished to see that the whole place has been filled up with so much of opulence. There was nice cooking going on. Ghee is the aroma of ghee. You can smell the aroma. Wow. And then so much rice, dal, sabji, chapati, cake, pastry, haribol. All these things were prepared. And the ladies, lady were dressed very beautifully. The kid is, they were also very happy to see all these preparations made. My mother is cooking. In this way, they were so happy. And then he said, what happened? And he said that, the ladies described the whole thing, whatever has happened. And then immediately they understood that what has happened. And then at that time, what, Arjun, Panda, he said to his wife, I saw this, blood in the mouth of Lord Jagannath. Why? I saw that. And the Brahmani, being a Vaishnavi and a follower of her husband and the Lord Jagannath's dear devotee, she understood from her heart that, my dear Prabhu, you have scratched the words of Bhagavad Gita. And these words are actually non-different from Krishna's word of Bhagavad Gita. So for that reason, that pain, that words, actually they are the mouth of Lord Jagannath. So he got also hurt. Then immediately Gita Panda, he went with his family to ask forgiveness and say thank you to Lord Jagannath Swami. We also see when Prahlad Maharaj, there is a very beautiful pastime, that when Prahlad Maharaj met a Avadut Brahmana, a very, very saintly personality, but who was rolling on the ground. And when he was rolling on the ground, he was totally naked. He does not have anything in his body. And he was, he used to pass stool and urine, but it was never smelling bad. And he was so divinely secured his consciousness in lotus feet of Krishna. And then Prahlad Maharaj asked, my dear my dear Prabhuji, who are you? He said that I'm a simple person. Then from Prahlad Maharaj is such a great person. He taught a lot of lessons of Krishna consciousness from that Brahmana who was Avadut. He does not have anything. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochitina kamshati. Material world means there will be lamentation and hankering. Even if you're a successful man, materially, and everybody, other people says, "Arey, apni to khub bhalo, you are a very nice person. Your family is very nice. Your children are grown up. They are doing a lot of wonderful things. So why don't you, spend your time, in this way, in that way?" But I have personally seen, or I am seeing, this lamentation and hankering. It is never ending. It's never ending. You have one car, you want two cars, you have two houses. Then you may give argument that, well, this is called upliftment, and this is called, what do you call that? Growth. You can say this is called growth. So in this way, what happens actually? It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult to understand and distinguish between actually what you need and what you want. Sometimes you don't understand what you need and what you want. There is a big difference between our need and what we want. We want so many things, right? We want, if the prime minister or the president comes to my house and takes a chapati roti, then we may think, but actually what you want does not matter. It matters what you need. So in Upadeshamrita, in Isopanishad tells a very nice shloka. Ishavasho idam sarvam jat kintu jagatan jagat tena tattena bhanjita ma kastasya dhanam. That everyone is having a quota. And if you are happy with that quota which Krishna has given you, you see, in our world also, if we behave in the way Krishna wants us to behave, there will be no problem actually. Right? And the Mother Nature has made us in such a way that we can adjust anywhere. I want all of you to think in a very deeply. You see what happens actually. In this material world. The human race is actually responsible for all the calamities that is happening in this world. If we are aligned with Krishna's message, Krishna's words, then we should have been very much thoughtful about our whereabouts. In this world, the ants, they are satisfied, they are happy with little food, and they supply the little food. They are being supplied by the little food also. And then in the next way, if you see an ant is a small animal, and then you see the elephant. The elephant is so big and huge. He also gets food. You will never see an elephant starving and dying, or ant starving and dying. But the famine and everything happens, and the humans suffer. And what can I say about suffering? If you see in this material world, just recently 2 years how we passed. That is also the result of our exploitation above Mother Nature. If we see, there are so many ways we can make energy from sun, from seas, from wind, from all the heat produced in this Mother Earth. But because we are trying our level best to, secure our life with the oil from her, with the what do you call, we are digging her heart by making big multi-storied buildings, and we think we want this. Do we really need that? I know some countries, there are so many, construction has happened that people are not there to stay in their, on those constructions because they don't have so much population. But still they have made it just to make the economy running of the temple, of the place. There are histories where some countries, they made so much of milk Just for the economy, they put it in the sea salt, so in the sea, in salty sea. We know from the history also there are, even till it is also happening. Just because of security, just because of our own, mental security, so much of grains have been put in the sea just to make the economy very nice. Now, why this is happening? Because the lack of spirituality and not understanding what we need and what is, what we want. Our need is very simple. Uh, we want some food, we want little shelter, and for our Laja Nibaran, we need some clothes, and that's all. And because of this consumerism, this concept of enjoyment and security is making us actually what do you call, depend on our, this consumerism society. But if you see the animals in the jungle, or many places on earth now, people are understanding that, and they want to harmony with this mother nature, and they want to stay in that way. And ultimately, this becomes very easy to survive in a happy place and a happy mood when we understand Krishna is a controller. And if we just follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam or all the Puranas, and wherever Krishna has spoken, so if we just be aligned with that, then we will be very happy. There will be no hankering and no lamentation. There will be no hankering and no lamentation. And then we will be very much satisfied. And that satisfaction, when we have that satisfaction, then actually we understand what we need. We don't need two phones actually. Like I am seeing nowadays, this is my experience, I don't know what you have. There is a lot of unknown numbers sometimes comes, and they say that, and I see that, hey, Prabhuji, ye to aapka alag number hai kya? Yes, this is my WhatsApp number, and that is my normal number. Oh, Krishna. That means one person is having multiple phones now. Hare Krishna. Why they have multiple phones? Because of I shouldn't miss anything. I should enjoy the most. But actually, more you get, more will be stress. More simple life is, more you will be free. Less things, less stress. More things, more stress. Haribo. So that is the teaching that Krishna is giving to all of us. And that is the reason why Krishna is saying that we need to be spiritual and understand who can be peaceful. Bhoktaram Jigyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yatamam Shanti Richati. Who can be in Shanti, who can be in peace, who understands that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we need to all surrender to Him. And we need to love Him. And in this way, what happens actually? We will be happy in our life. You see, in today's world, we have made so many gadgets, like the mixie, washing machine, dishwashers, right? Then the cars, flights, jet flights. Now, by using those things, what we are achieving? What we are achieving? What we are saving, rather? Anyone? What we are saving? In previously, there used to grinding mortar, and now it is mixing. Then previously it was washing with your hand. Yes, like this Gauranga Prabhu is right. Time. Yes, Sudeshna is right. Time. Now you see, we got lot of time from washing machine, mixie, and all this thing. Now you tell me, my dear friends, so much time people are having now. What to do with that time? And unless and until you are using it for your spiritual benefit, this time will eat any person who is not engaged. Empty minds, devil's workshop. That's why Krishna consciousness, yes, we need to remember Krishna. You see, a devotee's life, that if you want to be a person like 3.18, what we are discussing today, we will just discuss today only 3.18 only. If you want to be that person, actually everybody must strive for being that person who does not have any stress, does not have any anxiety, because they don't want to rule over the world. Whatever comes by Krishna's mercy, it's amazing. That's okay. Everything is auspicious. Everything is wonderful. There is no hankering and no lamentation. So with this whole time, what we need to do is we need to use this time for Krishna service. Now you see, those like all of us in here, wherever, you all, we get up in the morning, we have Mangalarati, we have Darshanarati, even houses also, you are having Mangalarati, Darshanarati. Then we have a timetable, Srimad Bhagavatam reading, evening in Kirtan or going for some programs, isn't it? So when we do that, we are with Krishna and our time goes in a very beautiful way. I know some of my friends, college friends, school friends, they talk to me. How do you spend your time? And now I spend my time in a very, very different way than you all. And sometimes some people say, Shamay katte chaye na. Oh, I can't imagine, another day, another long, long day. No one is there, nobody is calling me, nobody takes care of me. All this stress and anxiety and depression comes because they don't have Krishna. They don't have spirituality. But spirituality, when it is there in our life, slowly, slowly, one day we will become very much perfect when the time will come where we will be always, I will always remember Krishna and I will be always happy. So that is the time, that is the, consciousness that we all need to look upon, and we must also try. That's why this, Friday programs or festivals in the temple, everything is very much needed in our life. It was very much needed in our life. Why we need all these things in our life? Because we need to use them in our life, because that is the reason why we have come in the form of a human form. Human life is for doing something good for others. So if we are always thinking about ourselves, becoming selfish, how we will do others something good for others? So what we need to do, the real protection or security is Krishna's lotus feet. Bhajahude mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindare Durlava Manava Janama Shatasange Tara Hue Bhava Sindhure Shitaya Tapa Vata Varishana Edina Jamini Jagire Bifale Sevino Kripana Durjana Chapala Shukhala Bhala Gire Idhana Jovana Putra Purijana Ithe ki ache parati thire Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Bhajahu Hori Pada Nitire Shavana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhijana Atma Nivedana Govinda Dasaya Kilasa. Okay, you understood? So what we need to do, just remember the Krishna, the lotus-eyed person, the lotus, bodied person. Namo Pankaja Nabhayo, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangaya. In this way, we always remember Krishna. And one time will come, we will understand that what we need and what we desire, there is difference. Let us all, our main need is to remember Krishna. Make our daily life in such a way that we always remember Krishna. And in that way, one day will come, we will be 3.18%. What is 3.18%? Always relaxed. No need to do anything. But the next week, what Krishna says we will be discussing. Yes, you need to work in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.